today I have an awesome app to share with everyone, and this basically gives you a lot of different shortcuts and quick gestures to control just about everything on the phone. And I'll go through all the details of how to set it up, and at the end I'll show you how the app, how to set the exact settings on the app so that your gestures work properly. But unfortunately this is only for Samsung phones, so sorry about that, and you do need Android 7 or higher. And what the app is called is One Hand Operation Plus. This is the icon. You can get this from the Galaxy Store or the Google Play Store. And we'll just click on it here. There's a lot of different options here. And again, at the end, I'll show you how to just change these handles and make them work for you. But for right now, to start with, we're going to go through all the gestures that are available, which are a lot. All of these we can do. And most of these we can go through pretty quick, and the ones that are nifty and have extra features on them, I'll spend a little more time on. So, and what you do is basically just swipe across, and then you'll get a gesture to happen. And you could see here, we could do the left handle, that's this one, and you could actually swipe it up, across, or diagonally down, and you can also do the right handle to do the same thing. So we have a bunch of shortcuts that we can do, and you can see there's a bunch in there, but we're going to just start with the top one here, and I'm just going to do the straight to the right just so you can see so I could demonstrate these. So you could have none, and that means you just don't want anything to happen when you swipe, in case you were doing it by accident. This is the back key, the home key, and the recent key. These are all just your navigation buttons on the bottom. And the menu key, that's right here. This one will actually bring up, it doesn't work on every app, but it will act as if you're hitting the little three dots that are usually in the top right hand corner. So I'll show you how that is. A Chrome page here, these three dots, it will be like this, and that's what pops up. When you swipe it like this, you'll get the same thing. And that will happen with a bunch of different apps that have that little extra menu feature on there. You can just swipe it, and then again, it will work just like that. And a bunch of apps have that. You can just go through it and see which one you want. Even like the phone app. Again, the three dots are right up there. Just hit this, and then you get the quick toggle for the menu that you want. And let's go back here. So the search in app, that just brings up the Google search bar when you swipe. So that'll be a quick thing if you want to do a quick search, and you can just do that. Then we have the volume up key, down key, same thing as the toggle buttons that you have. The toggle mute though is really cool because this will mute anything that's playing. So if you're in a meeting or something like that and the phone rings, you could just swipe it and it will mute it. If you have go onto a browser and there's some ad that's a video ad and that plays in the background and you're not sure exactly which tab is doing it, just hit this, that will mute it. Any music you have playing, videos, anything like that. Again, if you need it quiet real quick, you just swipe it and that will shut everything down, which is a pretty cool feature. And now we got the play, the previous track, the next track, all that stuff, just with the music controls. The app screen, this just brings up your app list. Would do that. So app screen, and we just do this. That just brings that up. So same thing. Again, just a quick way to do it in case you have some settings that don't allow you to swipe up to get to that screen. This goes to your previous app. This goes for the web browser. It's that front arrow, so if you wanted to go forward a page, you could just swipe instead of finding that little arrow that's sometimes hard to find. This is the notification panel, and this is the quick panel. So this is in effect the same thing as swiping down once. This is as if you're swiping down twice, so I'll just show you that. So this is the notification panel, and then this is the quick panel. So those things would open up. Those things would open up if you click this and then you just swipe from the side. That would be what would happen. So I'll just do one here just to show you, and that's how that works. So we're going through these. There's a lot to go through, so I'll try to be quick as I go through here. Screen off, that just shuts the screen. Convenient feature, close your app that you're on. Flashlight, this is pretty cool. Instead of having to go through the quick settings and toggle the flashlight on and off, you could just make it so you swipe it and the flashlight comes on, and then you could just toggle it off. That's a great feature that I really like. Split screen, this one is really cool too, so I'll show you this one. So let's say we got Chrome open here, right? And we just go like this. This gives you the double screen here. So now it makes it very easy to get into the split screen mode, one, and then also you have all your recent apps down here that you could just click and Now you have, another app right there. But also, you could do the split screen, and you could go through any app. Not every app supports the split screen, but a lot do. And then you could just kind of click which one you need to, and then you could have both apps there like this. And then also you could just click this 3 buttons here, and you can move it up or down and resize it as you want to. Then the other thing is, if I could hit this button just right, you could close it out. You could make this one big, or if you hit this right here, that will save it, and I'll show you that it will save it as an edge panel, so that when you just click on that, both these apps will automatically open at the same time in split screen mode, in case you're doing things a lot. If you had shopping up here, and then you have your calculator down here, or your bank account up here, and you just want videos up here while you're doing stuff, you could click that all the time, and you don't even have to set it up. It'll just open up automatically. So that's a cool feature. Let's go through a couple more here. The Assistant app, this is just the Google Voice Assistant. So if you want to just swipe that open, and then you can just call out whatever you need done, and then Google will do that for you. The Finder search is basically kind of a recents tab, and it'll search through all your apps and your files and any downloads that you just did. So that's a cool thing if you want to find that. Screenshot, that's cool too. Some people don't know how to take a screenshot quick, and you have to go through the menus. There's a lot of different ways to set up the shortcut for that, but you could set it with this, and then you could just swipe it. And again, you could set it so you swipe up or down or straight across, or use the right handlebar here as well, and that will take the quick screenshot. Screen recorder, this just records everything that's on the screen, and this is a good one because this is kind of hard to find sometimes. And let me just do, this is an edge panel. Samsung also has its own edge panel that has a lot more options on it. So this is like a watered down one. So let me just show you how this works. See, that just gives you a bunch of apps, and you could actually change the apps and put whatever you want on here. And then when you save the split screens, this is how it would save. And then if you just open these up, then it automatically goes right to the double screen. So that's kind of a cool feature. And then again, if there's two apps that you use a lot, it's just an easy thing to do. Let me go through some more here. Screen timeout. This is cool because you could change it if you want. So I'll just show you, because there is a feature here. So if you're at work, you want it to time out in 15 seconds, but maybe when you come home, you want to toggle it back to shut off in 10 minutes. You could do that real quick, and just easy to do instead of having to find and toggle it and trying to find the app that controls that. Show the navigation bar. This is the navigation bar on the bottom. So maybe if you're watching a video, playing a game or something like that, you just want to hide it. But then when you're done doing that, you want it to come back up. So instead of having to, again, reset it and do some toggling, you just swipe it, and then that will float back up. Speaking of floating, this is the floating navigations, and this is kind of cool too, because sometimes if you have this, you could use these as gestures, and you can get rid of your navigation bar completely. But maybe if you did that, you still want some navigation sometimes. So you got these here, and this is the same ones that you would have on the bottom. And if you hit this little button, it will just stay there. So that could float, and then again, you could use these little buttons on the side if you want to do that. Just kind of a cool feature. Let me see what else we got here. So pull down screen. This is cool because it will actually shrink the screen. So let me show you how to do that. So if you have a real tall phone and maybe you're doing one hand and you can't reach all the way up to the top, you just do this and it will shrink the whole screen down, which is kind of cool. Then you could adjust it and make it as big or small as you want it to be. And then you could do this. This would lock it so that it would stay in this mode. And if you hit this little button, it turns it into the one-hand mode. And again, you could also move, if I could hit the button here, you could move this up and down just a little bit. And then you could also move it to the left side or the right side, depending on which hand you're holding the phone with. And then if you want to get out of this whole feature, you just hit this. So that's a real cool thing. And that one-handed mode is the one I just showed you there. You could just toggle right into that. And again, there's a lot of other ways to toggle it with hitting the home button and things, but if you just swipe it, you get the feature right away, so which is cool. If you want to do a swipe for the power key menu, this gives you to power off or shut the screen or whatever, so you could have that there. I'll show you just what it looks like quick here. So that's what the power button is. And then you could side key this. You could change your side key. I guess I hit it too late. So this one, if you want your power button here now, you could change it when you do a double press. You could have it open up any app you want, which is cool, but you could also quick launch the camera, which is nice because this will just hit this button twice and you'll get right into the camera even if you're on the lock screen. So if you want to take a picture real fast, you hit that twice and your camera will pop up right away. And then you could also set it so that your camera your camera app is set to open up in video or camera, depending on what you did last. So that's a cool thing if you want to do that, and that's a quick way to just change that side button if you want to. This just toggles the auto rotation. Sometimes people don't like when the screen rotates automatically. If you're playing a video game or something like that, you want it to stay in the landscape mode, but then you want to toggle it back when you're, reading the internet or something. So that's that. You could rotate the screen right and left. We don't really need to do that. So I'll get out of that. Game boost, you could just click that again on and off when you're ready to play a game. Home screen shortcuts. This one is cool because we can do this. And then it shows, not every app, but a lot of the apps that you have all have little settings that you can go right into. So for instance, Chrome, we can go right into the incognito tab, or we can go right into a new tab just by doing a swipe. So you're not only opening the app, but you're also going into a specific spot. Same thing with the camera. Again, you could set this up so that if you just swiped up or diagonally across or diagonally down, then you can go right into photo or video camera, which is real nice. Start application. This is cool. This is basically just hitting an app, and instead of you tapping it on the screen, it'll just pop up when you swipe. So if there's some apps that you don't want populating your home screen, but then you could just swipe it and then it will pop up. That's kind of cool. Let's see here. And then start an app in pop-up view. This is a really cool feature. So let's do this, and then you pick whatever app that you want. Say, let's go to the calendar. So now you want to know if you're on the phone, you're trying to schedule an appointment, you want to see if you're available, you just swipe this, and then your screen will pop up. And then, again, this you could move all around any way you want. Then you could also shrink it and make it whatever size you want. And you could make it into a floating app that you can put anywhere you want. Or let's get this open. We could exit out. I can make it big for the whole screen, but then also I could hit this little button here and make it transparent. Or I could change the transparency on it. And now, again, I could have it here. As soon as that goes away, I could put this into the side. I could be doing my stuff over here, trying to figure out, and then I could still see the calendar and see what dates and try to schedule something. And then, again, we could just kind of close that out. So that was a real cool feature. Again, you just swipe it, and then your calendar pops up just wherever you want it, and then you could do whatever you want. With all those options, you could save it and go through, and it's just an easy way to have it pop up real fast. And then again, if you want to get rid of it, you just hit the X. Okay. Move screen. This basically, it's a, I don't know, they just kind of named this wrong. This actually is a magnifier. So if you want to see something, now this, all the other gestures we did here, we swiped quick. But for this one, you have to actually swipe and hold it. And then if you could see up here, right underneath my finger is what is magnified. So we'll get into the little app there. I'll get into Chrome, and then it just magnifies it. It looks like 2 times. And you just have to, again, swipe and hold it, and you can move the screen wherever you want. And if you want to see something on the top there, like that, there you go, just move it. So kind of a cool feature. The Note series has that with the stylus, that you could hold it on something and it will magnify it. So if you're trying to read something or a document or a PDF or something that's just a little blurry, you could magnify it, and kind of a cool feature also. So this is also a real nice one. I like the task switcher. So this one has and all these buttons here are just more settings for these last few here. We're almost done, I promise. So for this one, we can go through a task switcher, and you can put as many apps as you want to show up. And I'll show you what that does. We do this, and now this is all your apps that you were just recently working on, right? Now, which is also really cool, is you could just click on the 3 dots here, then you could lock this so that always stays on. You could open up in split screen. You could do the pop-up view like we did with that calendar. And then we could do the app info just to see the details of it. And then down here we also have the add event and search calendar. So it also has like the quick settings for the menu. Same thing with Chrome. If we do it here, we have a split screen, the pop-up view, and then again, new tab, incognito tab, and we could do all that stuff. And then if you kind of want to get rid of something, then all you do is just hit the X, and that will disappear from there. So now we'll get to the next one here, which is the virtual touchpad, which is cool. It's really, you could just make it more transparent, and then you can make it so it moves faster or slower, and I'll again show you so this makes sense here in a minute. So if you, oh, sorry about that. So if you go here, I guess I didn't change it. Let's get back to that. Virtual touchpad. So now if you go like this, you get this thing that pops up, and this is you know, I wasn't really sure what this would be good for, but you get this little button here that you could, if you want to highlight certain text, you can go exactly to where you need to go, and you could hit the button. Also, if you're trying to reach the top of, again, the phone screen, and maybe you're doing this one hand, you could just swipe it like this, and you could move this up here. And then this will also actually, if you have text back here, or you're looking at a website, you could move it up or down, and again, with just one hand instead of having to swipe. And then you could also make it so that the pointer is on the side here, and again, just help you point and find different things if you want. And this will also just a shortcut to bring down the notification panel, but this does that. And just kind of a cool feature. It's such a cool thing. I thought you could do a little more with it, but it does some things. Also, if you have maybe an ad that pops up with those little tiny X's that are very hard to get exactly on, you can move this right on it, and then you could hit the button, and then it will delete it. So this is kind of a cool thing. I don't know how useful it would be for day-to-day use, but still a real cool thing. This Quick Tools, we're almost done here. So, but we got a couple more really cool ones here. So Quick Tools is one of the ones that you would probably definitely use. So if you get nothing else out of this video, the Quick Tools is what you want. And if you go to settings here, these are all the Quick Tools that you could have. And believe it or not, it's gonna, oh, okay. So that's gonna tell me all of these that you can put in here, all into the your Quick Tools. So all these little apps, and then the only problem is you can put so many that you just have to remember what all the little pictures represent. Again, this, you could also take a quick screenshot. You could do your flashlight. I'll show you a cool one with the color inversion, and again, you could add all these on there, and you just have to remember which little symbol on there looks like, because we're going to do Quick Tools, and I'll show you. When you go like this, this is the Quick Tools. Now I could move the brightness, right? I could do auto brightness on and off. This is my music. I could do here. I can go to the next track if I want. I could, you know, play and pause. Then you got all these quick settings here that are available. And again, you could change these, and you could rearrange the order. You could do anything with them. But I'll also show you one of the cool ones that I like. Let's find a... Okay, so don't pay attention to any of the words that are on here. I'm just trying to illustrate something. So when you're in dark mode and you're going through here, if you're at night and you're trying to read something, all of a sudden you get to a website, and it just doesn't listen to the dark mode function, and it makes it really bright like this, and it's all white background. You could just do your quick modes and go to the color aversion, and then it will make it black. So that's kind of a cool thing. If it on pictures, you know, it's not all that helpful, but if we just have a lot of text here, you could just change it, and again, that's what it looks like. So that's another cool feature that you can put into those little Quick Tools, and that's a real nice one. Like I said here, we're almost done. If you hung around this far, please go ahead and subscribe and like it, and so I can make some more of these, and you hit that notification bell so you see these when I come up with some new ones. And let me go through Quick Tools, keyboard shortcuts now. So for this one, you just get a bunch of, this is not actually compatible with a lot of different apps, but you get these apps here. And then basically what you can do is, you when you're in YouTube or Chrome or the internet, then you could do a gesture, and then you get a menu that pops up for all the things that you can do. So let's do, let's put this in here, and it will say these are only apps that are working. That might change in the future, but that's all that there is now. So let's go to Chrome again, and if you do this, this is all the things that you could do in Chrome. And again, it will be different for each of those apps that you open, for YouTube and the Samsung Internet, and then you could just go on here. So that's a cool thing. If you're just doing the internet a lot and you want to go use these features, all you do is swipe it, and that will pop up for you. And then the last one is just to hide the handle, so if you don't want to see it, but that's that. So now, just to go through the general settings for these handles here. Again, you got the left handle where you got the diagonal up, across, and down, and same thing with the right. You could set these for any of them, any of those apps that shortcuts that we just did. You could do on the left or the right. Then the advanced settings, these are actually kind of cool. You could do the animation or not. But landscape mode, so if you're going to be watching a video or something, you don't want these bars on there, or you don't want your gestures to be activated, so you don't want to actually hit the edge and it goes into a shortcut. You can just shut it off. So anytime you're doing landscape mode, which would be like anytime you're playing a game or playing a video, that will negate those things. Show notifications, just gives you that little notification up here, so that it will remind you if you want to turn the handles on and off. You could do that. Then this is a cool one, so if you have the handles low and your keyboard pops up, the handles will move up out of the way. So that's a real cool feature, so they don't interfere with each other when you're doing your swiping on the keyboard. You won't accidentally hit some gestures. You could hide it on the lock screen, and then you could do it with the quick panel if you want to, but that's not all that useful. But here are the gesture settings. So the quick action is just so as soon as you start making the gesture, it will automatically show you that shortcut. I didn't really notice that much of a difference with that, but you could play around with that if you want. But the gesture angles, you could actually change where you want your finger to go and how you want, kind of sensitive that you want it to be. So you can move all these as much as you want, and then that will be the diagonal up, this cross, and the down. So that will help you with that. And then, believe it or not, you could even do this. So this is the touch width. This makes this smaller and bigger. And then you could make the handles take up the whole side of the phone if you want, or smaller. And again, you could just have a left one or a right one. You don't have to have both. You could just shut off the right handle, and now that's gone. So that's how you could do that. And then you can move the whoops, let's do that. That's if you want to do the color. But if you want to move the position, we do this. And then the vibration level, if you want it to vibrate when you click it, you could do that. And then you could actually, let's just go back here one more time. So what I showed you was, again, the diagonal up, across, and that. But now you could do a long swipe. So if you do a long swipe like this, and you could actually guide how long you want it to be, that will give you another 3 shortcuts. So you could have 3 shortcuts on this side with diagonal up, across, and down, and you could fill out any of the shortcuts that we went over already. And then if you slid a little further, that would be another shortcut, another one. Then that would be 6 just on this left handle. Then you could do another 6 on this handle, which is a lot. That'd be 12 gestures that you would remember, which probably is, you know, not all that common. But if you did just one of them, you had that quick tools. Again, you could put like 10 shortcuts right into that little quick tool setting. That was this one down here, quick tools. You could put a bunch of your settings right into that one screen, one little box that opens up, and then you could just hit that. You don't have to remember anything. And then you could have one toggle to be your flashlight, or one toggle to be your screenshot, and then you'd probably use this pretty often. So that was just a cool app. It's One Hand Operation Plus. Again, you can get that in the Google Play or the Galaxy store. And again, sorry, it's only available for Samsung phones, but any Samsung phone, anything running over Android 7, this will work on. And this is a really cool feature that you could play around with and do a lot of different things. The only other thing is if you did gestures. So let me just show you here. If we, this is just one caveat that we need to know about. So if you go to the navigation bar, and if you do gestures, then you won't have the buttons anymore, and then you could either just swipe it like it's showing, or you could even show it that you just swipe even further up. But if you do any kind of gestures, these buttons go away, and then by default, that one-handed app will be your back button. So then one of your handle features would have to be the back, because you know anything on the side is going to be controlled by the one-hand operation, and then that little feature there you wouldn't be able to control without the one-handed operation. If you got rid of the app or disabled it, then you could do your gestures normally. But if you did really like the app and you want the gestures and you don't want your navigation bar down here, that's what you would do. But again, the one swipe then would be taken up by the back button on your One Hand Plus app. And that's all I just wanted to show you, and that would be the gestures. So that's how we do. That would be the gestures. So if you have some, it will get rid of it. That's all. If there's any questions or comments, just let me know down there. And if you found anything cool in the app that I missed, put it in there. If you want me to review any other apps with some basic features, or you want me to try to research it and find some different stuff, let me know. Otherwise, please subscribe and give me a like. Thank you.